Hello, we have the police back at showing that they could kill American citizens across the board in the United States. You know, I guess they're going to hit all 48 states. They, so far, like, somebody's counted like 398 that have been, you know, police, you know, killings. And, you know. But anyway, now they killed I guess in LA and California, a homeless black guy, you know. So since they're being, you know, criticized and instead of like maybe them brainstorming and saying, hey, maybe we do need to have some new training, maybe we do need to find out what the real politics behind our thinking, and is it, you know, because they're, even if they do get rid of the war on drugs, and the police have to avert their attention to maybe more stuff like espionage and blackmail, and kidnapping and rape and school shootings, or, you know, people, you know, going into restaurants and shooting. If they have to, you know, like focus their attention on crimes like that, and not so much of them playing this war game to where they're trying to intimidate and escalate the citizens, you know, of America to, and you know, really, what's really going to happen is, you know, the people that have money, you know, they're just going to be avoiding. Well, anyway, we have a society now to where, like, what was it, like, they showed this lady use the police to handcuff her child to teach their child a lesson, you know, and you have to think of what's the lesson you're really teaching a child at that age, that they can't trust their mom, that they can't trust the police, that if somebody is, you know, I mean, because like you know, and for that policeman to handcuff this kid, and then they showed another kid where, like, this other kid was like in school. The school called the police for like a kindergarten kid, and they handcuffed it and shackled it, talking about, oh, well, you know, even a small kid could hurt somebody. You know, and so that's our answers to our solution, is, you know, and which is crazy and insane to me. It's crazy and insane that the police have such a way of thinking that, you know, to where they already made a statement, you know, where they're based on the defense, talking about don't judge nobody. Well, you judged and was the jury every time you kill somebody or maim somebody, you know, because like this last guy, Fred, this guy's a homeless guy. The other guy, Freddie Gray, he didn't even have anything on him. They didn't even have any reason to arrest him. He wasn't doing anything criminal, you know. People were feeling very unsafe. And of course, with the propaganda, like in school, they teach the kids to call the police for like a hangnail, and like on TV and everything. But you know, when the reality is that if you call them and their decision is that they're scared to death and they just shoot first at your loved one, you know, maybe you should rethink about how you are handling the situation in your own homes. You know, maybe whooping the kids is not such a good idea, if they grow up violent, and if they look a little violent or hostile, you know, the police are going to shoot them. You know, especially if they're, you know, a male boy. Yeah, because like, you know, like if they're under like 14, you know, the police might get some sympathy. But if they're a teenager, they don't have no sympathy for if they're a male or a female. That's when you start criticizing the female, because, oh, teen pregnancy, you got to worry about it. Oh, and teen, so we already criminalizing our teenagers. We're already boxing them in, and we're already adjustizing them. in such a way. With a compound, if you already have a racist and an oppressed society, you know, the answers that the police are doing is just to incite either people that have the money and the means just to get the fuck out of the states and raise their kids in a decent, proper place where they can get a good education. And there are a lot of good places, Switzerland, Ireland, you know, there's other places, you know. It's just like this lady that drove me back, you know, from the doctor's office, and, you know, like, she's like, oh, like, Brooklyn or whatever, and like, so I'm like, oh, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, or whatever, and she's like looking at me all like real confused, you know, and she's, well, because I know she's like, because like in Memphis, like, they don't think that black people are bilingual or any, or you know, like, they have black people in Britain, Germany, they have them all over the world. We're not just isolated, and they just brought us from Africa in the United States, you know. And so then, you know, we have this type of thinking that we don't see a worldly view, and the police, their type of thinking is that everybody is a criminal and it's a bad place. Yeah, if we get rid of the prohibition on drugs, and we get rid of the war on drugs, and decide to rehabilitate and you know, and it's not all the time, ooh, educate. It's rehabilitating. It's changing people's behavior so that we don't have the type of mentality that this Los Angeles police do. They come out their face and think somebody should feel sympathy because they murdered somebody. You know, that is their response to all of things. They act like, you know, we should feel like sorry that you know, that they, you know, did something like that, and they're following procedures, you know. And if you don't make change within your own self with your own policy, the next people, you know, the police is going to be killing is their own too, you know, because the same issues that are out on the street, even in the areas that you're not, it's still in your house because of the politics. And everybody has, you know, television is watching and getting the same information pumped into their head. So the same way the police don't like the response that they get after they murder somebody, make that tenfold. We don't like the way you respond by murdering people. So if you want somebody to start respecting your behavior, you need to start putting yourself in check. And maybe you need to think about changing some of the political legislation that is governing your policing, because what it is doing is, you know, the neighborhoods that you're talking about is all blown up and bad and looking like that is because of the policing that you're doing. You know, it's your actions that cause the response that you get. And it's disgusting that you keep, you know, killing. I guess, like I said, I guess here goes another motherfucker policeman gonna get a big payday because somebody's supposed to feel sorry for you. You know, the American citizens are, you know, like, we don't think like you, man. We ain't gonna go and militarize ourselves and go down and you know what I'm saying? Because that's not the motherfuckers you're gonna be picking on any motherfucker. Because some of us is not violent motherfuckers. But some of us, you know what I'm saying? Hey, let me tell you, the sergeant major don't have to be the one to pull the motherfucking trigger, bitch.